Hey, what's going on guys? Alex here with TFL, and behind me is a pretty cool Ford Ranger, and in this video we're going to be installing a Magnaflow exhaust system to hopefully get some performance gains out of it, but I think most importantly to get some better sound out of this engine right here. So this truck behind me happens to belong to one of my good friends, Nathan, so we're going to talk about his truck a little bit, do a quick drive, get a sound test, and then bring it in the shop behind me. We're at Muffler. We'll get it all installed and take it out again, see if we get a big sound difference. All right, so this is my buddy Nathan, and tell me about your truck here, because you've done quite a lot to it.
Yeah, man, this is my baby. 2020 model Ford Ranger, picked it up brand new, about 40,000 miles. Pretty mild for upgrades so far. We've got the Ford offered Fox suspension kit on it, some homemade rock sliders, and then obviously the Bronco wheels with the 33-inch tires on it.
Where'd you get this from?
That is a Weston off-road front bumper that I slightly modified, changed it up a little bit, made it look how I wanted it to. Still a work in progress there, getting it set up with some more lights and a winch, but so far coming along really well.
You mentioned your rock sliders, and you breezed over the fact that you actually made these, which is really impressive.
Thank you, I appreciate that. No, these a good buddy of mine and myself spent a couple afternoons outside rolling around on the ground with a tube bender and modified these and made them all fit up. They're bolt-on as they're designed, and I didn't want to be welding on a brand new truck frame, so wanted them to be bolt-on, but great little project, had a lot of fun with those. The rear leaf springs, I believe, those are the tremor leaf springs on this guy. The OEM FX4 stuff doesn't ride super well with the mono leaf, so swap those out, but otherwise it's pretty stock truck.
All right, so 2.3 EcoBoost, right?
Yeah, man, 2.3 EcoBoost and the 10-speed auto, which honestly, I really like it. Great amount of power from this thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna do just a little, not 0 to 60, but just an acceleration run. I've got my sound meter here, so we'll get a baseline and see exactly how loud this is, and it's probably not gonna be super loud, so.
Nope, yeah, we've got the synthesized Ford noise on this thing is actually turned off, so.
Okay. So what, they have like a little vibration module or something?
Yeah, well, it's something with the stereo or something where it kind of pumps in like weird synthetic noise, but I don't like that all too much, so turned it off. But yeah, let's do a quick little romp here and see what we get.
Seems like 63 decibels was the loudest I saw there. So,
all right,
not bad. That's our baseline, 63. We'll do one more sound test on the outside. I'll have you rev it up while I stand back there, and we'll get one more reading, and then we'll bring it in the shop and start bolting this thing up.
Sweet.
So we peaked at about 90 decibels up here at the grill, but let's check the exhaust. That's where it matters more. Hit it. About 84 was the peak I saw, so 84 decibels in the rear.
Not too bad, man. She's pretty quiet as it comes.
Yeah, so let's get you pulled up to the door here at Muffler, and we'll start working on it. This is the Street Series catback system from Magnaflow. We're just getting the box ripped apart here. Should be pretty straightforward. It's two longer pieces of pipe there. We have, I think, a muffler sitting there, and then a black finished tailpipe at the back. And if you're curious, here's the part number for this, because they make a few different systems for the Ford Rangers. So 19452, 4-inch tip, and 3-inch stainless steel tubing. So we'll get it all unwrapped and take a look.
Ooh, that's the stuff, man.
Nice and shiny.
Yes, sir. Look at the dent, man. Send that into the.
So you already did some exhaust modification.
Yeah, this thing's got not super departure angle set up, so I chopped the tip off there because I already sent it into the side of the.
Yeah, so the exhaust is bent up into this rear piece here. So he chopped it a little bit.
Yeah, off-road mods, man. Gotta make it work. This thing is nice, man. Oh yeah, love this.
So this is the back end of it, and it's this really nice black finish piece. This should look really good sticking out of there, and it's also got a much beefier and nicer tip on it. So from the factory, these just kind of dump out the side, and it's not great looking, but not only is this hopefully going to improve the sound, it should improve the look too. And hopefully it won't stick out too far where my friend Nathan's going to crunch it back into his truck. I just wanted to do a quick size comparison of the stock Ford muffler and the new Magnaflow muffler, because there is quite the size difference and also a big weight difference. Granted, this has all this extra piping on it that, you know, is in different pieces in the Magnaflow kit, but significant weight and significant size difference between our new Magnaflow part and the OEM Ford part.
Get it out of here.
Probably leave the tack weld off this one
Yep.
in case there's a warning, and then
That sounds good to
you
me.
pull it.
So our plan, we were just kind of talking about what we're doing. We're gonna, because this comes in a bunch of different pieces, we're gonna throw some tack welds on each joint. That way, when Nathan goes off-road, because he does a lot of wheeling, he doesn't shake things around and things can't spin freely. But we're gonna leave this front one unwelded. That way, if he ever needs to go back to the dealer for warranty work or whatever, since this is a new modern vehicle, everything can pull off super easy. And yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. All right, we're gonna do a little diameter comparison here. So they say 3 inches.
It looks like 3 inches
Looks
to
like
me.
3 inches to me too.
And then if we compare to the stock unit, 2.5.
Yeah, right about 2.5. I'm really stoked about the black tip on this. I think that's really
It's gonna look slick compared to that. Gross, man. 3 3/4 inches on the inside, 4 inches on the outside. Looks like 3 inches on the tail end here, with some really thin stuff.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that's a lot thicker material. So if you do end up bashing this on a rock or whatever, it shouldn't fold quite as easy as the stock exhaust. Haven't started it yet. We're still working, but looks-wise, what do you think?
Oh, man, this thing looks, that stainless piping compared to the stock stuff is just shiny and awesome, and it's not gonna rust and get all gross too, and the black tip on this thing makes it look pretty dang mean.
What'd you think on first startup?
Not a ton louder on idle, which I am a-okay with. Like, nice, modest sounding exhaust, but hopefully under throttle she makes some great noise. I'm looking forward to
from
that.
the inside, it's probably a little quieter. From the outside,
Yeah.
I think it's louder, and that's what Magnaflow says, is that you get more sound from the outside, but it's not too intrusive in the cabin.
Perfect, that's awesome. Yeah, it sounds great so far.
So Dan's getting ready to tack those welds on, but Nathan, one thing I wanted to talk about real quick. You can see this dent right here where your stock exhaust was. This one sits a little more forward, which doesn't seem like a huge change, but when you're talking departure angle, everything really matters. So, I don't know, you'll have to let me know how that goes once you get it out on the trail, but I have a feeling you might have some better clearance with
Yeah,
this.
man, that's the hope, because that stock unit kind of hanging way back in here, it would get in the way so
Yeah.
frequently.
That's
remember
why you had to chop
dragging
it.
that thing all the time. Yeah, so chopped it off, but this tip's new, it's shiny, and it's tucked way up forward there, which I really like.
Yeah, so hopefully you won't have to make any modification to this one because it sits more forward.
Not absolutely necessary, but this guy looks like he likes bumps.
We're gonna push it, so let's see what we can.
That's it, huh? We're all done.
Very simple.
Yeah.
The hangers lined up, everything was in good shape.
And
The
then how
alignment
about
was
like
correct.
the quality of the parts? You think they're pretty good?
Yeah, it's in their jig's good, so like I said, hangers are all in the correct spot, makes it easy.
Nice. Quite a bit louder. Sounds really good. Question is gonna be if this drone's on the highway or just driving around town, so we're gonna take it out for a little ride, but over 100 decibels from the tailpipe. I'm pretty impressed by that. We gained quite a bit of sound and drastically improved the look. All right, well, Dan did a great job getting that all installed. It took about an hour, I'd say, maybe a little more than an hour, but yeah, the hardest part was really just getting the old hardware off that was kind of seized on there. So some heat and some penetrating oil came right off. Give it a crank and let me know what you think.
Let's do it. Ooh, it sounds good. Nice and throaty.
Yeah, and I think the cool part about this system is that from the inside, you really can't tell, at least at idle, that it's got an aftermarket system on it. From the outside, by the tailpipe, you can totally tell. But let's just go for a quick drive. And
yeah, man, let's do it.
See what it sounds like under load. So far,
Not
pretty
too
quiet.
bad. Pretty quiet. Let's go down this side road here, maybe give it a little bit of gas and see what we get. Nice. That is awesome.
Yeah, so a little louder. We got like right above 70 decibels. I think we were at 63 before. But I don't hear a drone of any kind, and especially when you come off acceleration and you're kind of in that like 12 to 1500 rev zone, RPM zone, that's where you hear a lot of these systems drone. And
yeah,
I don't hear any droning.
It sounds great, man.
Yeah.
Not too loud, but also you can tell it's playing ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
I really like it.
And I was talking to Dan as we were paying for this. We didn't catch this on camera, but another cool part about Magnaflow is the exhaust hangers are actually thicker than the factory exhaust hangers. So a lot of times on an aftermarket system, those hangers will be thinner, sharp, and they can rip the exhaust hangers and cause more damage. And this seems like a really well thought out system. All the exhaust hangers mounted up perfectly, and yeah, it seemed pretty simple. Pricing for this system is about $1,200, a little under $1,200, and everything bolted on real quick. We went to an exhaust shop to do this, but you could totally tackle this at home if you have a basic toolkit and some patience. And yeah, hopefully you're pretty happy with it.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked.
One thing we did notice is this Ford has auto start stop, and you said you could barely tell before when it would turn on and off.
When it was stock, you could hardly even tell. I had friends drive this truck and they're like, oh, it's off. But with this thing, there's a lot more of a noticeable difference there.
For sure.
It's cool. Very fun.
Well, there you have it. Check out alltfl.com so you don't miss anything in the automotive world, and we will catch you soon. And also, let us know down in the comments if you want to see this truck at Tumbleweed Ranch take on the off-road course.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's got skid plates, it's got rock rails, it's got modified suspension, now a modified exhaust, so it should do pretty well at our course. Let us know if you want to see it.